morning, esteemed members of panel and fellow students. Today I'm proud to present my on-the-job training report documenting a rigorous and deeply rewarding 300 hours of immersive experience as a civil engineering intern. My name is Prince Wycoco, and during my training, I have privilege of working with the Benigas Construction Services, a journey that bridged the gap between classroom theory and real-world engineering practices. To give an overview of today's presentation, I have structured my report into seven core sections. First is introduction, second is an overview of Benigas Construction Services, third is the company's history, fourth is the four tiers of specialization, fifth is my weekly OJT training activities, sixth is the engineering problems encountered and technical skills I acquired, and finally my conclusion and recommendation based on deployment. About Venegas Construction Services. Let us begin with a look into the host company. Venegas Construction Services is a premier engineering and general contracting firm based right here in Las Piñas City, Metro Manila, operating primarily within the National Capital Region. The company targets residential, commercial, and light industrial sectors. What sets Venegas Construction Services apart is its core values proposition, a strict single point of contact project life cycle. In construction, miscommunication between its designer, contractor, and client often causes major delays. By acting as single point of contact, this firm minimizes the communication breakdown drastically and reduces materials overhead costs and unconditionally guarantees the structural integrity across all its builds. Now let's go to the company history. Understanding the growth of Venegas construction services give us the context to the professional environment they stepped into. The firm underwent a textbook evolution through three distinct phases. The small-scale beginnings. The company started locally as a residential contractor in Las Piñas City, handling minor home modification and small renovation. Second is capability growth. Driven by the commitment of excellence, they scaled up by investing heavily in precision instrument, heavy equipment, and cutting-edge engineering software licenses. Third is enterprise transition. Today, they have successfully transitioned into enterprise capable of securing and executing complex commercial and light industrial contracts. Next, next is the fourth tier of specialization. To handle th- to handle this diverse project, the company organizes its operations into four tiers of specialization. This structural division ensures that every phase of the project is executed by the experts. First is Tier 1, Design Structural Execution. This covers the architectural and structural design compliant with the National Building Code of the Philippines or PD 1096, full-scale structural remodeling, heavily structural steelworks, welding, and foundational civil concrete works. Second is Tier 2 handles the core utilities and MEP, or mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. This involves electrical engineering, main distribution panel or MDP upgrades, lighting, lighting systems, plumbing and sanitary system, and advanced leak detection. Third is the interior refinishing. This involves high-precision drywall installation, flooring, tiling, and detail-oriented interior painting that meets premium residential and commercial standards. Tier 4 covers the exterior protection. This tier guards the building envelope through advanced roofing system, high durability exterior painting, deck and perimeter fencing. Our next slide is the OJT training activities. Now let's go to our week 1 and 2. Now let's dive into the details of my 7-week training block where I was exposed to the multiple project sites including Molito in Alabama, Bali in Santa Rosa, and Beraville. During week 1, my training kicked off with a comprehensive project orientation. The project management team introduced me to the site regulation, safety protocols, and scope reviews. I quickly transitioned to site visits in Molito and Bali where I studied material mechanics, especially comparing PVC and PPR piping system and analyzing the various waterproofing compounds. In week 2, I moved into the field of study and quality control. I witnessed a 24-hour hydrostatic flood test and waterproofing and inspected a structural retrofitting setup at Berryville. I also began monitoring the hallway and kitchen tilework executed, observing a surface preparation, thin set basic application, and routing for the quality control. I perform inspection using spirit levels and gap gauge to check joint alignment and the surface pla- planarity. Next is we go to our week 3 and 4. By week 3, I was entrusted with the more analytical project control task. I track progress using Gantt charts and critical path method or CPM to identify potential schedule delays. I also conducted a daily safety compliance walkthrough and cross-reference actual on-site plumbing layouts against isometric drawings verifying hanger spacing, fittings, joint security. Next is week 4 focuses heavily on material estimation and layout planning. I conducted the dimensional surveys of comfort rooms and kitchen floors to execute materials takeoffs for tiling. I also performed space allocation audits for sanitary fixtures to ensure they complied with the clearance plumbing codes back in the office. I drafted tile layout drawings, strategic planning the cutting pattern to maximize material space. Now let's go to our week 5, 6 to 7. In week 5, I was fully engaged in product administration and drafting. I generated formal tile layout, shop drawing, and detailed schedule monitored wall tiling, plumbing, track materials, consumption, and metrics. On my week 6, on my week 6, my focus shifted so heavily towards quality inspection and reporting. I evaluated finishing tileworks, assessing grout consistency and edge finishes. I checked the sanitary fixtures integration and began drafting technical reports and official inspection summary report or ISRS. Finally, week 7 marked the closeout phase. I assisted in the drafting of the final project closeout report, compiled the pending item checklist or punch list, conducted a turnover inspection, archived project records, and complete my OJT exit briefing. This marked the successful completion of my 300 hours training block on July 31, 2025. Now let's go to our engineering problems and technical skills. A key benefit of on-site training is encountering actual engineering problems and learning how the professional firm resolves them. I observed three critical problem areas during my stint. First is structural integrity anomalies. We found that as we built field condition deviated and achieved blueprints, especially regarding column dimension and wheel positioning. This could have installed the project, but the team resolved it by engineering revised connection detail using high-strength epoxy grouts. Second is moisture protection failures. During hydrostatic flood testing, minor moisture seepage was observed due to microfractures in the waterproofing membrane. The member the team resolves this by performing pressurized plumbing checks and using barrier scanning technology to isolate and reseal the failure points. Third is material yield variance. In the complex floor layouts, tile cutting waste exceeded our 5% to 10% baseline to mitigate the high scrub rates. We implemented strategic layout planning and mandatory dry layout shifting, which allowed the team to adjust cuts before applying the mortar. Now let's go to our technical skills acquired. Navigating these challenges helped me develop our four core competencies as an aspiring civil engineering. First is advanced quantity surveying. I move beyond theoretically math to perform a yield verified quantity takeoffs from active surfaces, calculating the net surface areas and applying waste coefficients to formulate the accurate procurement requests. Second is civil quality control engineering. I gained hand-on experience with the precision instruments like spirit levels and laser levels to check the surface planarity, joint verticality, and leakage, ultimately compiling the formal punch list for turnover QA. Third is multidisciplinary drawing interpretation. I developed the ability to cross-reference structural, architectural, and MEP plans simultaneously, allowing for a 3D spatial reconciliation to identify and resolve spatial clashes before field execution. Fourth is professional site documentation. I mastered the paperwork of site engineering by drafting formal inspection summary reports or ISRS, maintaining a daily construction log, and, and systematically archiving progress photographs. Now let's go to the soft skill and professional development. Beyond the technical skills, this immersion developed my professional soft skills versus communication. I learned to break down complex engineering jargons into actionable instruction for trade tools while simultaneously synthesizing high-level progress briefing for management. Second is adaptation. On a construction site, unexpected changes happens constantly. I learned to remain solution-oriented under pressure, isolating variables to formulate alternate paths forward. Third is time management. I developed a deep understanding of schedule, interdependency, learning how the delaying tasks cascade down the critical path, which taught me to value the daily milestone tracking. Fourth is integrity. Above all, I realized that precision is a core professional obligation. Engineering integrity directly protects the public safety and client investment. Now let's go to our conclusion and recommendation. In conclusion, these 300 hours of OJT successfully bridged the gap between theoretical civil engineering and practical field application. Over 7 weeks of progressive skill development across three active sites, I completed 300 hours of immersive training. My role evolved from passive observer to an active quality assurance contributor. I I'm proud to have a supervised precision tiling installation, executed hydrostatic flood tests, and developed material estimation models, and compiled formal engineering closeout documentation. Now let's go to our recommendation. To conclude my report, I would like to offer a constructive recommendation for both institutions to further improve this training program. For Venegas Construction Services, structured training syllabus, I recommend implementing a formal weekly rotation schedule that moves interns systematically across estimation, project management, procurement, and field supervision. Second is digital engineering tools. Interns should be integrated directly into BIM or building information models and modern estimation software workflows. Third is mandatory safe orientation. A certified formalized safety briefing focuses on site hazard identification should be mandatory on day one for Colegio de Montelupa. Curricular alignment. I recommend expanding classroom coursework to include specialized lectures on building finishes, advanced and water curing methodologies in complex MEP layouts. Second is pre-OJT workshops. The college would benefit from conducting preparatory workshops dedicated strictly from technical report writing and professional engineering documentation. Third is industrial partnership. Finally, strengthening Memorandum of Agreement or MOA framework with the partner companies will ensure structured high-quality learning across future interns. Thank you. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I am now open to your questions, comments, and feedbacks. Thank you.